just rude, Batman. I've laid on all this entertainment at the movie theater, and you can't even be bothered turning up.
I'm right outside, Joker. Hey, so impatient. Alright, let's go inside and save Talia's life. The Terror. Ooh, it's a classic movie night. Uh-oh, he's got the place set to blow. Bombs everywhere.
Hurry up and take your seat, Batman. The show's about to begin.
There are no chairs.
Let's just talk about this.
Now you want to talk. Too late, Batman. Give me the cure.
But you've already got the cure.
Yeah, you already... Whoa!
Talia, no!
Oh! She did it!
Problem solved.
She killed him.
Didn't need to.
Why? You would never do it. You left me no choice.
There's always a choice.
I had to save
Oh,
you.
Bruce.
Harley Quinn stole it for him. I took it back.
Why did he never drink it? Seriously, why did Joker never drink at least some of the
It's
cure?
over.
Or did he? He was like, give me the cure! Why? You had it.
Rise!
Wait.
Mr. J.
Wait a minute.
You look perfect.
Ring, ring. So how do you keep a secret from the world's greatest detective? Well, do you know? You stick it right in front of him, right under his long, pointy nose, and wait.
Joker wants you.
Wait.
Sick.
What?
Gotcha.
You fell for the old fake Joker gang, Batman.
Oh my gosh!
I'm sorry, beloved.
Talia!
I didn't know.
Encore.
He killed her? He did.
Bravo.
Wait, there's real Joker.
wasn't
He's
ever
still
you.
sick.
Not always. Well, sometimes.
He had someone
isn't it?
pretending to
I
be
know
a
I
healthy
want to know
version of
just
him?
What the hell is going on if I were you?
Yeah?
Let's just say, at times like these, it's important to keep up appearances. But first,
Why
if
did
you
he
would
never
be so
drink the
kind,
cure since he already had it?
hand over my cure.
You already had it, so why didn't you drink it before? Wait, then who's this fake Joker? Oh my goodness! I know who it is!
For one night only, standing in for
Of
your
course!
duty.
Now it all
Doing
makes
a damn
sense!
fine job of it. I give you
It's Clayface! Wow!
You weren't even supposed to be in here, Carlo. Why sign up with Joker?
The role of a lifetime!
Huh! Ever the actor.
One last chance.
Oh, lighten up, bats. The final act's just starting.
Look, he's got that sword stuck in him.
Doozy.
Oh, so there's the hint. Ah, gotta use... Ow. I should have countered. Gotta use Freeze's ice grenades. Ah. Okay, dodge. Hit him with the ice grenades. Oh, boy. Just gotta keep dodging and hitting him with the ice grenades. Ah. Ah. Oh, I pressed the button R2 rather than triangle. That was my bad. Ow. Ah. Oh, I hit those bombs. Oh, man. Ow. I was too close. There we go. Dodge. Dodge. Almost. Ah. Woo. Woo. Almost got him. Yeah, he's frozen. Look at that.
What are you doing?
Oh, wait. Grab the sword. Here we go. Got
Are
it.
you supposed to be playing?
Time to slice him and dice him. I gotcha, Clayface. Oh boy, here we go again. Ah!
Don't just stand around.
Ah! Ah! Oh boy! Ah! Ah, boy. Ah, ow! Wow, that one was hard to try and avoid. Oh, you know what I gotta do? Ah! I was gonna say I gotta stand in an area where he's gonna try and get me. So he runs into those explosives when he goes into that little ball of his. Ow. Ow. Okay, let me stand over here then, opposite. There we go. That's awesome. I can still reach him from way over here. Oh, oh man, he missed it. There we go. Much better. Why was Bats throwing over there? Ow, I still got hit. Ow. Almost, I'm close.
You're supposed to be killing Batman, remember?
Come on, there we go, grab the sword. Here we go. He's just up there watching. Like, what is going on down there? Oh man, cutting up to pieces now. Thank you, Mr. Freeze.
You're making me late for my spa treatment. I mean, it's not like you've got a girl to save anymore, is it?
Oh, come on, low blow, Joker.
Oh, I'm sorry. Too soon?
Yeah.
Will a change of scenery help ease the pain?
Uh-oh. Of course he's got explosives. Oh, boy. Oh, we're back in the Lazarus Pit room now. So that's what it was under. Great. Now Joker can just jump in and he'll be fine. Oh boy, we still gotta deal with Clayface, it looks like. Oh great, now we have little Clayfaces. Ow. Oh boy. Ah! I gotta hit him with the grenades when he's up, but also trying to avoid getting killed by all these little guys here. Ow. Ow. Oh man, come on. Ah. He'll just keep spawning these guys until I freeze him. Ow, I forgot to jump out of the way. Ah. Ah, man, it's hard to make sure he gets hit with the grenades, but yet avoid getting hit by his, when he spits that out at me. Looks like it's really taking effect now. He's pre-frozen now. Oh! Went head first inside him. Woo! And slice you open from the inside. Alright, looks like that took care of Clayface. Woo! Yeah. Quick, drink the cure, Batman. Huh, he only drank half of it. Maybe he's gonna give the other half to Joker.
I've got a date with immortality.
Oh no, he's gonna jump into the pit. Ooh, nice. That was a pretty good throw. Uh-oh. It knocked Clayface in there. I don't think it made Clayface immoral. I think it just kind of overloaded the system and made it blow up. He's still got the cure intact.
Quick, the cure.
Why did you never take it before? I still don't get that.
I killed your girlfriend, poisoned Gotham and hell. It's not even breakfast. So what? We
Good
all
line.
know you'll save me.
Every decision you've ever made ends with death and misery. People die. I stop you. You'll just break out and do it again.
Yeah, pretty much.
Think of it as a running gag.
Oh! Oh, it caused him to drop it! You better just lick that off the floor. I would, like, get my tongue on the floor and lick that up if it could somehow save my life. Oh,
Want to know
man.
something funny? Even after everything you've done, I would have saved you.
I believe it. I know Bruce is right. He's about to die.
Pretty funny.
Wow. That's it. Joker is dead. And like many of his victims, he died with a smile on his face. It's eerie for me because it's not just Joker dying, it's Mark Hamill, or at least his version of the Joker, dying as well, because from that moment on, we will never again hear Mark Hamill as the voice of the Joker. To me, that signifies the end of the Mark Hamill as the Joker era. And that was an era that I grew up with. It was part of my childhood. Look at this. He's carrying Joker's body out of Arkham City.
All units coordinate.
Gordon?
What
My
the hell
goodness.
happened in there?
I'm not sure you want to know, Gordon.
Batman, what happened?
I don't think you want to know. Wow. And that, my friends, was Batman Arkham City. Whew. Wow. I'll tell you what, that ending alone gives you chills because of the symbolism of it. When they were planning to do this game, they talked to Mark Hamill about it, and at first Mark Hamill thought that Asylum would be the last time he would do it. But when they told him about the story, he decided, okay, this will be my swan song as the Joker, and my goodness. Doing it like that, if there was ever an amazing way for Mark Hamill to go out as the voice of the Joker, that was it right there. Of course, we will sometimes get to, I've seen videos where he's been at conventions or events or things, and people have asked him to do it, and sometimes he'll do a little bit of it, and the place goes wild when he does it. It's just amazing. Just seeing him be the Joker. Not just hearing him, but seeing him. And my goodness, for the game itself, not just the character of Joker, but for the game itself, you want to talk about stepping it up and, excelling beyond expectations compared to what the first game did. This was leaps and bounds just so much better than Asylum. Putting Batman in this open world environment with even more different characters and villains from his history than before. In the first game, some of them just had little references through riddles. But in this game, you got to not only see them, but sometimes you got to fight with them, like Mr. Freeze, Clayface, of course, Penguin, characters we did not see in the first game. In the first game, it was mainly all about Joker taking over the Asylum. We had some other characters like Zaz make appearances, and he was in this one as well. We didn't get Two-Face. We got him in this one, though, although it's mainly for the Catwoman missions. But all the other stuff, of course, Riddler coming back with even more of the different trophies and riddles and puzzles and things. And there's still quite a few more to go. There's a lot more in this one. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
3 hours ago.
It's from Joker, isn't it? He's singing.
Can make this world seem right.
Let me turn it up in case you guys can't hear it.
You can make the darkness bright. Only you and you alone can thrill me like you do. And fill my heart with love for only you. Only you can make this change in me. For it's true, you are my destiny. When you hold my hand, I understand the magic that you do. You're my dream come true, my one and only you. Only you can make this change in me. For it's true, you are my destiny. When you hold my hand, I understand.
Oh, NetherRealm Studios had a hand in this game? I didn't know that.
You're my dream come true, my one and only you.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful, Joker. Oh, man. Of course, Joker gets on and sings a love song to bats. I mean, it's just kind of eerie and symbolic, as, like, it's a fond farewell to Mark Hamill as the Joker. For many of us, like myself, who grew up listening to him, he will always be my favorite Joker. I mean, yeah, you know, I know there are people that love both Jack Nicholson's Joker and Heath Ledger's Joker, and with good reason. Those are both very good Jokers. We'll have to wait and see on the Jared Leto Joker. I'm going to wait and see whether or not he actually does be a good Joker. But for me, Mark Hamill will always be my favorite Joker because, and he's talked about this, that he liked the idea of trying to make it kind of similar to the comics Joker, but he added his own interesting twist to it. The thing about his Joker, I found, was that it was the perfect blend of psychopathic killer, but silly, funny, hilarious clown. I mean, Jack Nicholson's Joker was pretty funny, and he had that clown part. And, of course, there were times where he also had the killer part down, which was why I thought he was a little more similar to the Mark Hamill Joker. Although I think the animated series came out after that movie, but in no way do I think Mark Hamill was trying to copy Nicholson's Joker. And as for Heath Ledger's Joker, the thing about his, even though I like his Joker, I thought there was way too much psychopathic killer and not enough clown to kind of even it out similar to Hamill. That doesn't mean I don't like Heath Ledger's Joker. You can understand why I would prefer Mark Hamill's Joker, because I just thought the mixture, the balance was just so perfect. And of course the iconic laugh. No one did a laugh like Joker, or like Mark Hamill did for the Joker. It was just so good. And for him to go out like this is just so good, even though he had more of a star role in the first game, and in this one, he didn't necessarily make as many appearances in this game as opposed to the first one, because if he was such a heavy focus in the first one. In this one, they wanted to add in others. They did quite a bit of focus in the early part with Penguin, as well as Two-Face, and then we got a focus with Mr. Freeze. And of course, we had a big focus with Ra's al Ghul and Hugo Strange. So they gave room to other villains to have their time in the spotlight along with Joker. But ending it like that, it still reminds you that even though there wasn't nearly as many scenes in this one as there was in the first one for Mark Hamill's Joker, he was still pretty much the star here. And it's going to be great having Kevin Conroy come back to do Batman for Arkham Knight, as opposed to how they did in Batman Arkham Origins. And since I'm probably not planning on doing a playthrough of Arkham Origins, even though it's not that I disliked it, I do like it. It's just that I actually ran into some copyright issues with Arkham Origins. But I did play it, and I beat it, and I liked it. I did like Arkham Origins. Some people did not. My issues with Arkham Origins was that was the condition of the game. It was pretty buggy, and some of the bugs that I've encountered still have not been fixed or patched up to this day. They're still there, and that's something that you never encountered in these games. Yes, there was the one time that you saw that my game was kind of not rendering or loading properly. I don't know why that was doing that. But other than that, it wasn't necessarily a bug. It was just some kind of loading or rendering problem. Once I exited out and loaded back in, it was completely fine. So it's very polished. Rocksteady, you can tell when they make their games and they release them, they are so polished that they are like no bugs, or like they're so well hidden you can't even see them. And you just never really encounter those kinds of issues. With Arkham Origins, you did have those kinds of issues. There were definitely quite a few bugs, and but there were the other aspects of it I didn't really dislike or anything. I did enjoy Roger Craig Smith's version of Batman, and Troy Baker's version of Joker was a good Joker. It did make me miss Mark Hamill as the Joker, just because it's not the same. You can tell there's a difference, but yet it was still a good version of Joker. And an interesting telling of how Batman was still in that part of, like in Batman Begins, where he's not really working with the police or with Gordon just yet. He's still considered, he's a vigilante, we must stop him. And so, of course, the police department is all corrupt. So it was kind of an interesting take on it, and I enjoyed that. And how they were saying that this is how Batman met some of these villains early on. This is how he met Joker, and yada, yada, yada. And I enjoyed it for what it was. It just wasn't nearly on the level as those other games. I would say that considering when it was made and where it's at, that Origins may be a more fun game to play than Asylum, because Asylum is a bit older and Origins was the most recent, with the exception of Arkham Knight coming out in about a month or so. And I would say that Arkham Origins, for what it was with the gameplay wise and everything, it was pretty fun for what it was. It was different with some of the villains and some of the collectibles like Riddler stuff. I do like that a lot of the times they were trying to reference other aspects. Whoops, never mind. I just misclicked the button there. Of that it was a prequel to these games. Like when you saw all the Riddler stuff in Origins, you'll find one of the trophies that you can get in this game, like, I see, that's where Riddler was starting to build up, thinking about some of the other things he would make for future riddles and trophies for Batman. But it was still kind of, it's alright, but it's not great. There was, probably some other little issues here and there, like the grappling in Origins not as accessible, maybe for lack of a better term. Like, how in this game, like, you could pretty much grapple onto pretty much almost anything. Whereas there were times in Origins you're trying to fly by and you're like, I can't grapple, or, just, grapple right there. Oh, look at that. Troy Baker was actually in this game. Or at least he provided being a voiceover actor in this one. So did the likes of Kimberly Brooks. Yep, I recognized her voice at some point. I think she plays, because she plays Oracle, that's why. Of course, Kevin Conroy, yep. Pretty much a good a standing ovation to a lot of the different people that did the voice acting in this, as well as to Rocksteady Studios in general. An absolutely fantastic game with what I consider definitely to be one of the top 2 games of the year of 2011 when it came out. I mean, it's hard for this game to get Game of the Year when it comes out the same year that Skyrim does, because pretty much everyone was agreeing that Skyrim was Game of the Year that year, even though I would have said that this was a more polished game and a more complete game than Skyrim was at the time, because Skyrim had its own buggy issues and things like that, similar to how Arkham Origins had buggy issues, whereas this game didn't really have any of those issues. So that would have been my argument to side with having this game be Game of the Year instead of Skyrim for that year. But, you know, it's one of the best open world RPGs ever, so it's hard to argue with that. But, I mean, it's not like you're saying one is bad or as opposed to the other. Both of those games are fantastic. This game will, for me, will hold the title of best superhero video game ever until we get our hands on Arkham Knight a month from now. Once that comes out and we get to play it, then we'll be able to compare it to this and see if it is similar to what it did. Because it's hard. It's very hard for a studio to be able to come out with one game that no one is thinking or expecting to be amazing, and it blows away everyone's expectations. So then they come out with a sequel to it, and the expectations for it are sky high, and they exceed those expectations. And now you have the third game of the franchise coming out, because Arkham Origins was made by a different developer. Rocksteady did not make Arkham Origins, so that doesn't count. They don't even count that as part of their franchise or as their series. That was a separate thing with Warner Bros. Games. But for the third game, now they're going to have a third game come out, and the expectations for Arkham Knight are so sky high that it's going to be hard for them to go beyond that. But they did that with this game, and if they're able to do that, if they're able to exceed our expectations with Arkham Knight, which are so sky high, then it's going to be hard not to say that Rocksteady is without question one of the best development studios out there in the industry, with what they've been able to do with this character. And what I love about these games is that they are so true to and respectful to the source material, to its history. Unlike some shows and movies that involve Batman, these games really do pay homage to the comic roots history of Batman and the characters from the Batman universe. You'll see when you look at their bios, it tells you this was their first ever appearance in this comic book in this year. This is their bio, things like that, and it just feels like they respect and honor the comic roots history of these characters and this universe so much. They want to give it its due, and I love that. I love it when they want to give a franchise and its history and its roots the respect and time that it deserves. And that was one of my gripes with the Dark Knight trilogy, was that it felt like some things about those movies were not really attributed to the history from the comics or things like that, that there were aspects of it. Like, for example, the Ra's al Ghul character in those movies, as much as I love Liam Neeson as an actor, that character just seemed not like the Ra's al Ghul I had come to know. The animated series was similar to these games. In fact, these games feel like they are along with the animated series, because, of course, the voice acting is still the same thing, except for Ra's al Ghul. It would have been amazing if they had gotten the same voice actor for Ra's al Ghul from the animated series. But that voice actor was still pretty good. And the whole aspect of Ra's al Ghul not just being the leader of the League of Assassins, the head of the demon, but also using the Lazarus Pits to always come back to life, being over 600 years old, that's a very important attribute to his character. And it was nowhere to be found or referenced in those movies. And now it's funny because those are actually referenced in the Arrow show, and it seems like they're making that trying to be more so suited or respectful to the comic history, and yet it's in the Green Arrow universe and not the Batman universe. It's just kind of funny. It seems like they're trying to turn that Oliver Queen into Bruce Wayne or whatever, because that was always Bruce Wayne's role, at least in the shows and the comics and in the animated series, was that Ra's wanted Batman to become his heir, to help wipe out all of humanity on the planet, and for him to use the Lazarus Pits as he did in order to be able to achieve this goal. And they did that in this, but they didn't do it in those movies, and it just felt kind of odd. Same thing with, like, the Bane character. Now, don't get me wrong, the Bane character in Dark Knight Rises was awesome, but he just seemed odd to me because it wasn't the Bane I was used to. The Bane in this game, that's the Bane that I'm more familiar with. That's the Bane that, to me, is more true to the comic roots, character. That he was from like either a South American country or from Cuba or something. You know, you could tell from his accent that he had an interesting background that involved luchador wrestling. Of course, the venom, that's a huge part of Bane's character, and there was no venom tubes or anything or chemical or whatever involved with that Bane character. It was just a big bulky guy with a mask that made him sound like Darth Vader, as opposed to the one in here where a crucial element of his character is that he uses the venom to pump himself up and make him super strong. But, you know, that's just me and my own little gripes about them. It doesn't mean I don't like those movies. I do. I really do. But those were just, if you're someone who honors and likes and respects and admires the comic roots history of the characters, especially including Batman, it leaves you feeling like, I don't feel like it's really taking the time to respect those aspects of those characters from their histories. I just don't like it when they take characters that are very well known in certain regard from their origins histories and they decide to change them up. It's just something that bothers me. And I like that in these games they don't do that at all. They like to keep their characters to how they were in their origin histories, like from the comics and such. So, you may think this is the end of the game and the end of the playthrough, but not so fast. There are a couple of other different things that you can do now. Like, for example, see here it says, congratulations, alternative Batman's outfits. Any downloaded alternative Batman outfits can now be worn in the main story mode and New Game Plus, unless of course you know the cheat code that you can get on the web on the internet in order to let you do it during the actual game before you beat it, which is what I did in this playthrough. So, and now we're gonna be like one of those late night infomercials. But wait, there's more. The game's not quite over yet.
And quit this damn town for good.
And now we are back to Catwoman. Clayface rewards unlocked. New primary objective: retrieve Catwoman's loot from her hideout and leave Arkham City. So we are not quite done yet. We do have one more Catwoman mission before we can enter the open world aspect that you can do after the game in order to go around collecting all the different Riddler things and side missions and such. And then we'll be able to do that. So, when we come back, we will be doing Catwoman's last mission as part of the Catwoman DLC pack you can get. And once we do that, we will then be in the end of the game, go around, finish all the stuff aspect of it. Stay tuned!